strap in and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Hey everybody, it's the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. I'm TC Restani, emanating from the palatial podcast penthouse, and we're here with our esteemed panel of experts for a big show, the one and the only South Boston Jeff Celebrity Stalker.
What's happening, folks?
The one, the only, the infamous, the milkman himself, Quincy Briscoe.
And how you guys doing tonight?
Unbelievable. And of course, Ricky Bittman, the host of Ricky Bittman's Jukebox, exclusively on Spotify.
Up and away. Hey, it's good to be here. We're all here tonight. It's good. What a fun.
We're all here because last time Quincy was out motorcycle shopping.
Yeah, we got something picked out, but you know what? It's fun to go motorcycle shopping.
It's fun to find out what makes an ocean wave. But
Pretty much.
continue, how'd it go?
Oh, it went real good. I went to Laconia just to have some fun, during the time, just to look at these things. And
Were you up there for Bike Week?
Yep, and the thing was, so I had some fun looking at some of the bikes that go up and down the road. Think about Laconia, you should have to go there early in the morning. Mm-hmm. Find a parking space, get it, and have fun with it. Just stop for refreshment.
And what was that like? Did you see any hot chicks?
Yeah, I saw a few of them.
I bet you did up there, huh?
Remember the two Canadian broads that I met when I was up there?
Oh, yeah. That comes up my feed every now and then.
Caroline and Emily.
Great picture. One of my favorite, that video.
They had the leather chaps on.
That was like used in an opening montage for the longest time.
It was fantastic. Those girls were unbelievable. I wonder what they look like now. That was almost 20 years ago.
Well, we've all aged.
Looked at this very huge chopper somebody built. And I do mean, but so I talked to the people who drove it, and they built another huge. Well, it's a heavy bike, but we can drive it, And
You're not getting a chopper, are you?
No. I just had fun looking at it.
Like the handles way up here, you wouldn't do that?
I talked to the people who build these things. I sat on one when I was in the bike shop. It's called sacrificing company for looks. No, I would never do that.
So are you going to get a Harley or a Triumph or maybe perhaps something specifically made for you?
Specifically made for me. It's a lot like what I have now, but it's slightly different.
What color is it?
I think it's probably going to be red.
Red.
Probably. Most likely.
Probably.
That's good.
Probably. And
how much is this setting you back?
It's not too bad. I forgot what it went for, but it's been ordered.
Now that's a man with money right there.
Yeah.
But it's been ordered, and we'll wait till the most updated model comes in, and all I got to do is go and get it.
There you go.
But
Can't throw him a few
but you know what? I had fun.
ducats, as they say.
You know how many ducats I've given him?
Well, just,
No,
He needs a ride there. I'll give him a ride.
you know what?
I meant how you paid for my Winnie
I
Bay.
also had fun.
Well, it was a tax write-off. You think his motorcycle's going to be a tax write-off?
I had fun also on the way back. So we went just to stop, somewhere, and this couple with a very huge Indian bike calls us. I was like, "You look like the type, that goes up on Sundays." That's right. How would you like to have a prayer? So I sit on our bike, started. We're going to say a prayer. So
Was it a prayer bike?
you could call it a prayer bike.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Prayer bike.
So this bike was very huge. I sat on it, started up. Now we're all going to say a prayer.
Actually, you can see the picture of this on Quincy's official Twitter page, which is at Milk and Cashews.
It's a very nice
see this
bike. Because I am the type that gets out. You look like the type that goes out. I am. I'm always out doing something, and I need help, and then so
that's certainly need help in the prayer department on the motorcycles.
Yeah, I've never heard once in my life of like a priest or like motorcycles even affiliated with religion or anything like that.
Well, just the opposite.
Wow.
Hell's Angels.
Well, the thing is, I already talked to our friend here. It's what I know how to drive. That's the bike right there. They have me sit on, and
Christian motorcycles.
right. And whatever it is I'm getting, it's.
You look very happy.
I am very happy. Because
do
at the
you remember
time,
this guy's name? This guy with the 6'5" hat on? Almost 6'3", Louis. 6'5" Louis.
I forgot the guy's name, but it was just a nice guy, and he said a prayer and said, well, thank you. Now,
I heard his name was Father Fonzarelli.
it could very well have been Father Fonzarelli. Because,
And he go instead of A, he went Amen.
hey, man, it's a real nice bike, but a very huge.
They didn't say sit on it. They said kneel on it.
That's right.
That's about it. But the thing about motorcycles, you got to learn. Some of the frames are heavy, some of them are light. It all depends on what kind of a bike you're getting. You got to learn also. Some of these engines are heavier than some of the other ones. All depends on what you order for an engine and what you put on there.
I keep forgetting we're talking about motorcycles.
Not Chief J. Strongbow.
That's about
Some of
it.
these Indians are very heavy.
But yeah, I went bike shopping and did some investigating, and that's about it, right?
That's awesome. Fantastic. Now, once again, I'm looking across the podcast penthouse, and I see that Ricky Bittman has a stack of notes.
Copious notes, as we say on the jukebox.
Copious notes.
So I did a little research there because I was thinking of, because last week we came in, I just want to, Quincy, do you know that there's a work there's a movement at work right now to change the name of planet Earth to planet Oprah?
Oh, really? So what's wrong with the planet Earth?
These people want to change it from Earth to Oprah.
What's wrong with it? What's...
I don't think it's so much what's wrong with Earth. It's just that people think Oprah's so great, they're going to change the name of this entire planet to Oprah.
You mean because of the TV show Oprah?
Because of her.
What's so great about Oprah that...
That's what we were trying to figure out. But are you behind something like that, or you don't care, or do you think this is a big mistake?
I don't know. I think maybe they should leave it alone. Planet Earth, in other words, earthly, planet earthly. It sounds nice. It looks good. And
could you go around saying, what on Oprah are you talking about?
yeah, that's like, what on Oprah are you talking about?
So you kind of don't care either way, but you'd rather leave Earth where it is.
Yeah, I think that way we go on saying, what on earth are you talking about?
Or when somebody knocks on your head and says, hello, Oprah to Quincy.
Yeah, that's just so.
Quincy.
I think we should leave it alone. I think that's
All right.
Has a nice name, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like, so I brought these notes in. So I wanted to know, this isn't just for Quincy, this is for all of us.
All right.
Because now we're coming up on one of my favorite holidays. Actually, it's probably right after Christmas. This is my favorite holiday, 4th of July.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July.
Tomorrow's the 4th of July.
First at the front, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be over first.
It's going to be one of the best summers we've ever had. Well, if you fellas are concerned about the beaches, you do whatever you have to make them safe. But those beaches will be open for this weekend.
All right, your cornucopious notes.
Okay. So what do you do on 4th of July, right? You light fireworks.
Right.
Well, I should have said that last. You have your cookouts, you go to the beach, and you light fireworks.
Just about, what else is there? For those who like the boat, to ride in a boat, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Now, Jeff, you must have lit fireworks off growing up, right?
Sure.
Especially with all your brothers and everything. You guys must have raised some hell with the Roman candles. And
Yeah, like bricks and bricks of firecrackers and grosses of bottle rockets.
And
as
just the
they
way
say.
your face looks when you're talking about it is fond memories, right?
Sure.
And what about
Excellent.
you, Quincy? You've lit in fireworks,
Oh,
right?
yeah, when I was a young kid, sure.
You for them or against them?
When I was a kid, I liked them, but nowadays, I just like to watch on TV, and that's it.
But if they're like on your street in the neighborhood, you call the cops or anything?
No, I won't call the cops, but unless it gets out of hand. But I'll tell you, though, I'm sure the police are out there going to say, we're going to be watching you. So
That's right.
just don't let this thing get out of hand, all right? Because don't let this get out of hand.
Right.
Because we are
Like
going to find
anything,
out.
just moderation.
Because you're going to have the fire department down there. You're going to have us down there.
And they are dangerous. A good friend of mine, her apartment burned one time from an errant firework. But
Really? That's not good.
yeah, the roof. It landed on the roof. One of those roof decks over in South Boston, as a matter of fact.
How
TC,
long
you like fireworks?
I love them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can remember you used to always load them up for, what's your nephew's name there?
Which one? I have several of them.
One of the producers there, the kid, Baby New Year.
Oh, Baby New Year, yes.
I always used to put the picture out there.
I used to go up to Phantom Fireworks up in New Hampshire.
Great place. I've been there many times.
And our favorite firework was a thing called the Wicked Pisser.
The Wicked Pisser?
The Wicked Pisser. It was like one of those 19, explosion things. And it was fantastic.
Those are the best.
The thing I liked about Phantom Fireworks is you buy one, you get one free.
Yeah, that's the best deal going.
That was the best. I mean,
And you
some of
gotta
these
buy the
people
good ones.
were in there spending like $2,000, $3,000 on fireworks.
I got a friend of mine that does that.
My minimum was probably maybe $100.
Yeah.
How long ago did your apartment catch on fire?
Oh, geez, she was at the Red Sox game, and then she got a call, and it was probably about maybe 10 years ago.
Jeez.
Just the roof got burned. I mean, but still, it happens. And
The principle of the whole thing.
If you're irresponsible, mistakes are going to happen. But the reason I bring this up,
I hope insurance covers it.
Oh yeah, she was all covered. But the reason I bring this up, I'm on the interwebs there, on the social medias and Facebook and everything.
Jeez.
And you see a lot of things now where people say, instead of buying fireworks, buy a can of dog food and donate it to a shelter.
What?
Exactly.
Buy a can
Of dog food.
and
donate it to an animal shelter. Now, I'm not against animals.
Well, what's that got to do with 4th of July?
I'm glad you asked, because now the movement gets a little stronger every year. So a couple years ago this started. Now you're seeing it everywhere. People want to ban not only the fireworks that you light off yourself, but any firework display that a town or a township would put on.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our country.
Yeah.
We celebrate it by, the 4th of July by lighting off fireworks.
Yeah.
And isn't that part of our Star Spangled Banner? The bombs bursting in air.
Yeah. And people, I'm telling you.
No one's saying he can go eat some dog food over there.
But doesn't it exactly? But doesn't it sound like every year more and more fun is being taken away from us?
You still didn't answer the question.
What?
Where did they get the idea that dog pet food got to do with the 4th?
Here's the deal, because I guess what I'm finding out is, and this makes sense, dogs especially are sent into a frenzy when these fireworks go off because they can't handle it. The noise and the flashing and everything.
Okay. I go to a lot of firework displays because I don't remember people bringing their dogs with them.
Exactly. Thank you. Because here's what it boils. Here's some of the things.
What's a frenzy that you?
They go crazy.
They're saying basically that a frenzy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What's a frenzy?
Like, a dog running around barking and everything.
Going
and scared,
crazy.
And
You know how
or
when you
runs
run-
away, it happens a lot.
When you run out of milk, you know how you act?
All
There you go.
right, okay.
Now he gets it. So, and again, the reason I bring this up is because I said more and more fun is being taken away. But doesn't it boil down to one thing? It's the responsibility of the pet owner to take care of his or her dog when these displays are going off. What are we talking about? The longest one, probably, even the ones in Boston, only last
Half hour.
20, 25 minutes.
More dogs have a frenzy when an ambulance drives by.
True.
So you can't get sick anymore because the dog's going to get upset.
Eventually, is that the way we headed? So what I did was I found these are some of the things people can do.
You know what?
for their
Planet
dogs.
Oprah's looking better and better.
Right, yeah.
But okay.
I cannot have since I live by the tracks and everything, I cannot own a dog because we have in the past, but I don't want to own a dog because it'll get loose and get hit by the train.
Oh, well, and that would be awful.
And I can't light off fireworks because they might hit the train. I can't even have I can have a barbecue at certain times of the week, but I can't even have a chimney or a little fire going.
Really?
Right, because the smoke might blind the train and it might kill somebody.
Well, here's an idea. Move.
Well,
That's my house.
He likes his house.
You're right. Everybody. You're right. You're exactly right. Stay where you are.
Yeah.
Screw the rules.
But like I said, what can people do? So this is a little public service thing we're going to do now.
All right.
So here's some of the things you can do before the fireworks. You identify a safe space for your pet. Whether it be a bathroom, a large, well-ventilated closet, or even somewhere in the basement, introduce them to a space in advance by placing a calming orthopedic bed or kennel. That way, they can imbue beds or blankets with their scent to make it feel safer and familiar. Make it a zen space. Close the windows, close the curtains. Add white noise. Okay. Work with a professional. So you got to hire a psychiatrist now.
Shrink for a dog because of fireworks.
Now here's some good advice though. Tire them out. A tired pet is a happy pet. Take them out that day and run them ragged. Okay. Don't feed them too many treats. Try calming treats. Here's a good one. Try thunder shirts. You know what a thunder shirt is?
No.
Many pets respond well to wearing a thunder shirt, which are compression shirts for dogs and cats that can have a similar calming effect to swaddling a baby. Good idea to purchase well in advance and give it a test drive to acclimate your pet to wearing the garment. Play anxiety-reducing playlists on Spotify, and don't scold, shame, or punish. Stay calm. Contact your microchip company. There's another thing. Okay, everyone says, my dog runs away. Well, microchip it. You have a better chance of recovering your dog if you microchip it.
All of this because of fireworks?
All because of fireworks.
It's one day out of the year.
So, but all the people putting the blame on everybody who likes fireworks, I'm putting it back on them. See, you got to do these things.
What's white noise? You said
like if you were, you know how like some people sleep with a fan on?
Right.
You can hear the fan. It kind of cancels out other noise. So white noise would be noise that would cancel out anything you'd hear.
And it's soothing.
Yeah, like ocean sounds and stuff.
In the sound of an air
for
conditioner.
those who like
Right.
it.
I enjoy the sound of my air conditioner.
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoy the sound of my air conditioner when rain's pitter-patting on
Yes.
it. That puts you to sleep in
I
seconds.
mean, the Winnie Bagel. I was in the Winnie Bagel last night, and it poured for a while, and it was very soothing.
My dogs, I had 2 dogs growing up, and we had a summer camp, and we lit off fireworks. They sat and watched.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this new breed of dog. It's something in the milk.
And here's another point I just thought of. I mean, as they say, when there's a huge thunderstorm approaching or a tornado, that the animals are always the first to know.
True.
So, that's why dogs freak out when there's fireworks. They think we're at war or something
Yeah.
like that. They think there's a problem.
And I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, this is. It may be important to them, but it's nonsense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, as he said, it's one day out of the year. Deal with it.
Think back to some of the most great childhood memories. For me, I can remember down back in the old Southie, Carson Beach used to put on a display right at the foot of 8th Street, my mother would say, right at the foot of 8th Street. They'd have a barge out there, and everyone in the town would come down and watch them.
In 1976, I actually went to the Bicentennial in Boston.
Wow.
I was 7 years old, and it was the greatest fireworks display I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were dogs there, and they were enjoying it as well.
I'm telling you,
It's just these people that just get annoyed because their dog, my dog's barking
Exactly.
and he's ruining the party. Yeah. I wanted to see the fireworks, but Rover over there, we need to get earphones for Rover.
But and I'm the a-hole when Tosh Len has a house over in Melrose, and I go there sometime, and sometimes I record the podcast over there. There's a dog that 2 houses down from it that will not shut up. But if you say something, you're the bad guy.
Right. It's just a dog. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah, this should have been printed out on toilet paper. So I can wipe my ass with it and then say, hey, go find a way to fuck up Easter eggs.
Well, that's coming. That's kind of what I'm saying. That's coming. Halloween is next,
They're going to get rid of Halloween.
Probably,
They're gonna just
Too much trick-or-treat candy.
it causes diabetes.
Yeah.
It causes diabetes.
Yeah, they'll be giving out wasabi peas now instead of Snickers, for crying out loud.
See, that's the problem when you let people have too much control.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fireworks. It's a part of our nation. Obviously, a lot of people in this country don't want to remember that we are the United States of America.
It's not. Yeah, we can't be proud of that anymore.
Where you're from? Oh, I'm from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and those fireworks, they're from China.
Exactly.
They're not. If they were made,
The good ones are from China.
if they were made in some little hick town in Ohio, it'd be okay. But
What's the difference?
because authentic fireworks are made in China.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where fireworks originated.
Yeah.
In China. Same as spaghetti. Sorry, Italy.
Yeah. Remember our mutual friend from Southie, Mike, Jeff, right?
Sure.
So he was the first one to show me those mortar launchers for fireworks, where you get the little ball with the long wick and you put it in the cardboard tube and you light it, and it's just, the fireworks are incredible. Those mortar launchers, they call them. He had one, and he taped a bunch of pictures of Chinese men to the outside of it. Well, we're going back a few years, but he was like, hey, it's a nod to them. He looked at it as a tribute, and it wasn't anything bad.
One of the things that I used to do as a kid is the Jawa figures from Star Wars.
Oh, here we go, yep.
We just to see how many bottle rockets it took to launch a Jawa.
That's great.
And it took 6.
6, that'll do
Six
it.
bottle rockets to launch a Jawa.
The Jawa.
You see the Jawa. Exactly. But one of the greatest 4th of Julys I ever went to was a 4th of July party that I went to at a mutual friend's house, and there was a 2-family house. And the people downstairs, these were kids like 14, 15 years old who had quarter sticks of dynamite.
Oh, I've had, yeah.
All right, and they were burying them in the dirt.
Yeah.
And it just looked like the moon after the 4th of July. There was just craters everywhere. These were the loudest things I ever heard. No one called the cops.
No.
Everybody in the neighborhood came over to watch the ground get exploded.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
What happened in the last 30 years?
I don't know.
This was just 30 years ago.
Back in Southie on the 4th, they used to have the bonfire up M Street Park.
Right.
They would start bringing the wood early in the morning. And then by the time the sun went down, they'd light this thing, and then the fire department would come and hose it out.
Fireworks are illegal in the state of Massachusetts.
True,
but,
true.
you know, back in the day, they looked, they didn't care.
Yeah.
Because it was one day out of the year. I mean, you heard stories. I've never seen anybody getting pulled over on a highway. You know, oh, I think he may have fireworks in that car.
I'll tell you a funny stat almost happened to me. So I went to the fireworks store, right, up in Seabrook, I think it was.
Oh, that's the hotbed for fireworks.
Right off the highway. We were bringing them to Maine. Now, they're illegal in Maine also.
Isn't that vacation land?
Right. And they're still illegal. Well, actually, they're legal in Maine, but they're illegal in Wells, the one town I go to.
Of course.
Now. Imagine that. So anyway, we go in, we do our fireworks shopping, we pull back out onto the main road, and I said to my wife, there was Biscuit back in the old days, I said, you know what? We're being followed. And she's like, no way. I said, we're being followed. There was a cop in this car. He followed us to see if we got on the expressway, because then he would have pulled us over. But what we did is we stayed on the main drag for as long as we could. Finally, he turned and went back the other way.
He was out of his jurisdiction.
Exactly. He was waiting, though, to see, because we were either going to Maine or we were going to back to Boston.
That's something that Roscoe would do on the Dukes of Hazzard. Exactly. I mean, it's one day out of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, how much drugs is out there?
Yeah.
Go catch an alcoholic driving drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what, if you're stupid enough to blow up your own hand with a firework, you learn your lesson.
My nub.
You know, I mean,
Thinking of that old Jerky Boy skit. Now I'll be back. I'll be back there with my nub.
Just wrap some gauze on it. Some gauze. Something doesn't lint.
Well, I'll tell you, I really don't see fingers here, but maybe it's because I'm all numb and stingy.
Oh, I did it this time.
you know what they don't sell? They don't sell the firecrackers and the bottle rockets anymore.
No.
You know, you
could get them in the North End back in the day.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly where you used to get them.
The kid would be in an alley, and he'd say, "What do you want?" You'd tell him, you'd hand him the money, and he would go down this alley that he could fit in. They have a little skinny kid,
Right.
And he'd come back with the fireworks.
You get off at North Station.
Yep.
You walk up, down to some, suspicious looking roads.
Yep. They all had the fireworks.
And then
in there.
you bring them back on the Orange Line, the subway.
Yep.
No one would bother you.
Nobody would
You would have
care.
giant rockets in like a Zayre's bag,
Yeah.
and no one would care.
Nope.
Nowadays,
Roman candles, skyrockets, everything.
nowadays you'd be a terrorist.
Yeah. Elvis used to have Roman candle fights on the lawn of Graceland. He'd give all his buddies leather jackets and motorcycle helmets, and they'd shoot Roman candles at each other.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
A blast, as they say. Sounds like a blast.
Dangerous but fun.
Yeah.
A blast, yeah.
Leather jackets and motorcycle helmets. What's going to happen?
Weren't you shot at with Roman candles one time up in New Hampshire a few times?
I
think
if I was, I don't really remember it, to tell you
I
the
think you were a
truth.
little inebriated.
All right, that's great. That happens.
And it happened up there. This is back in like 20 years ago. There was a bunch of punks in New Hampshire, and they just took Roman candles, and it wasn't just shooting at Jeff.
Yeah, they were just shooting
It was
people,
like ducks, ping,
Yeah.
ping, ping, and whatnot.
Yeah. I can remember the jumping jacks. You'd light them on the ground, and they would jump. But the problem with those is people would light them and throw them, and you never know which way they were going to go.
The best one was the bottle rockets that could go under water.
Oh, man. Yeah, I saw those once.
We used to do that. We used to have a summer camp, and there was a bunch of kids who had these bottle rockets and whatnot, and you would launch them off the beach, and you try to blow up fish.
Fish would probably go for them.
Just and then you see like floating to the surface and whatnot.
You can throw those quarter sticks in the water, and they'll still
Well,
go off.
I mean, it's like a friggin'
But those would go off still
like
underwater.
a torpedo.
I did that one time, and then I felt bad. I said, what if I just made all the fish in this lake deaf?
What? So you have morals.
Yeah, strange things bother. It's Catholic guilt.
It is. Well, you know what? He made all the fishes.
Yeah, that's true. I feel I went on deep sea fishing one time, and I pulled a fish in, and it wasn't one of the regulation. It wasn't like a striper or anything. It was just this small fish. It was just like hanging out. And I reeled him in so fast that his eyes popped out of his head because of the pressure change. And I just was really bummed out. I was like, hey, this fish was just hanging out. And I said,
Okay, I got that beat.
this ain't for me.
There was a bunch of kids on the Mystic River in Medford, Massachusetts back in 1983. The Walsh family, if they're listening out there, caught a big mud cop.
Okay.
And they, for some reason, were just psychopaths. And they took their, Bowie knife or whatever and dug a little hole in the mud cop and put one of those M80s in there, lit it, boot kicked it, and it was just a fish firework.
That's awful. That's awful.
What's that?
Yeah, but I've seen worse. I've seen worse in my in that tape that you used to frequently show me and everything. When
For the whale?
Yeah, for the whale. When they thought the solution to bringing this beach whale or to getting it off the beach was to strap a bunch of dynamite to it, and chunks of whale just flew everywhere and landed on the hoods of people's cars and everything, and it was just a big mess. And they thought the birds and everything were going to come and eat all the chunks of whale, but they were just too big.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like the size of this table. I remember the funniest part was you could see this little girl look over the hood of the car. It was a big thing of fleshy blubber just caved in the hood of this car.
What's in that, Mandy?
It's a firecracker. It's just a very potent firecracker.
It's either a quarter or half a stick of dynamite.
Now, can you imagine if you believe in reincarnation? Grandpa Joe died and he comes back as a mud cop.
Grandpa Joe.
I'm just saying this as an example.
That was like Willy Wonka. I'm going, Grandpa Joe.
It could be that one.
Charlie, I'm a mud cop.
You're a mud cop, and then you get picked up by the Walsh family.
Oh yeah,
and then get get an M80 stuck
this
up
isn't
here.
so bad. The Mystic River's beautiful. What the whoa!
To top it off, you're getting boot kicked in the ear.
Oh,
I mean, just talk about adding insult to injury.
I don't know these people, but they sound vicious. I don't want to cast aspersions like they say, but that's.
Whew. Most of them are either in jail or dead.
That's just
okay. Let's just put it that way.
I couldn't have got through digging a hole in it. Never mind. I mean, I've seen the fishermen do it, but not for the purpose of just shoving an M80 in there.
Just imagine what the fish. I mean, I can remember it like it was yesterday. Just imagine the fish. They drilled a hole in it and put the M80. It looked like wings on a plane where the M80 was, and they lit the wick and he kicked it. And he boot kicked it really high in the air, and it went in the air and just was fish explosion everywhere.
Now, I think that's a lot worse than 20 minutes of noise for a dog.
Right. I mean,
let's just
put it that way. You want to be a mud cop, or you want your dog to bark for about 20 minutes?
Turn the white noise on.
Give me a break. The world has changed in some good ways and some bad ways.
Yeah.
Would I rather see the mud cop exploding than all the nonsense that we have on Planet Oprah? Possibly. I mean, you see things in your lifetime. You only go around once, and you got to see some of this wacky shit.
Yeah.
You must have seen some crazy shit in your day.
Oh my God, are you kidding? I mean, but it's like I said, I always kind of just turned a blind eye to it. I mean, here's a guy who felt guilty going on a fishing trip. I mean, I love fishing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, this isn't right. But I mean, I saw people do it with frogs.
Yeah, of course.
You put the firecracker on the poor frog's mouth, and that ain't pretty to watch.
Fishing trips are like one of life's great rewards.
Yeah,
they really are.
It is,
it's
and I should have enjoyed
great
it.
Rewards.
I
You
should
get
have
out
enjoyed
there
it.
with your buddies and you fight with the fish. I mean, like in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
True.
And to tell you the truth, I actually met Jack Nicholson as he was coming off a boat doing a fishing trip. Yeah, as he was on a little fishing trip with Scorsese.
Nice.
I mean, like fishing is the bomb.
It is. And like I said, but I just felt guilty of it. But I mean, back in the day, I would film for flounders up in Castle Island, and I like to go bass fishing because bass put up a nice fight because you take the bass and you throw it back.
Right.
I think we should go fishing this summer.
I'd love to. I would do it again.
How's someone gonna put a firecracker in the frog's mouth? Can you catch the frog?
Well, they caught him and they lit the firecracker. They put it in. They throw the frog up in the air. And
see, frogs are more semi-intelligent creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, a fish is a fish.
True.
I mean, people. There are people who eat frogs, but there are people who have pets. Frogs as pets. Granted, they do have fish, but the little goldfish and whatnot. I can see if you're going to torture one of these things. I mean, the fish obviously is going to lose every time.
Yeah.
But a frog,
They're gonna fight back much.
It's like killing Kermit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, most fish that are in movies and whatnot are evil, like sharks and killer whales and all of this. I mean, maybe those little cartoons, Disney and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. It's like the fishes didn't come friendly until Finding Nemo, who was voiced by the evil Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, she voiced. I never knew that.
Yeah, she she voiced a character or something
asshole.
like that. Yeah, but that's why I said the evil Ellen DeGeneres.
Someone should put an M80 in Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she's a pain in the ass.
Okay,
Gosh.
I was on the Warner Brothers tour back in 2019, and the tour guide, who had connections with the Warner people on the inside, we went by her studio. Everybody on the lot hates her.
Yeah.
The studio only puts up with her because she makes billions of dollars for their company. But everybody, people who have interned on the show,
She's a mean bitch.
she's just a douchebag, plain and simple. And everybody's like, "Oh, I'm quitting and whatnot." Good, go away.
Yeah.
No one cares. You actually had Anne Heche killed.
Yeah, that's true. I
She
saw
had
that
Anne
video.
Heche killed.
Goddamn Ellen. I don't like Ellen.
I can't stand her. I never thought she was funny.
Yeah, and then Howard Stern goes out and dances with her and kisses her on the lips. That's when Howard jumped the shark.
Didn't they used to hate each other?
Yeah, but he's such a phony.
Is he made up with Rosie O'Donnell?
Oh
yet?
yeah, they're pals. Are you kidding me? They're best pals.
Oh,
for
what
Christ's
a
sakes.
work.
Yes, big time.
I can't stand Howard Stern. I used to like watching his show when it was on Channel 9 out of WOR in Secaucus.
Yeah, and that's how I became a fan too.
Yep, same thing.
But then, it's like you've worn out your welcome, dude.
He has. He just changed.
I mean, is he a legend? Yes. Did
100%.
Did he change the industry? 150%.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, there's a shelf life.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, the reason why he's still on there, does he obviously he's making money for this Sirius XM.
I don't know what he's doing, but it's terrible. I've listened to the show recently.
Now you were a diehard.
Big time.
You would go into arguments defending this guy, every which way but loose.
My buddy and I were going to sleep in the car outside Laureate's in downtown Boston because he was supposed to do a book signing there, and he canceled.
Wow.
But I would have stayed. I said I would have stayed in my car for him.
I mean, I
Overnight.
kind of knew he was full of shit and was all an act because we knew Fred the Elephant Boy, and he always used to torture him on the air and make fun of him and whatnot. But once the cameras stopped and the microphones were off, we asked him, I was a very nice man. I mean, it was a work.
Well, there's difference from being a nice guy and just. I mean, this whole fabrication of this what he is now. I mean, he used to rip into people for liking Bruce Springsteen. Now he can't get enough of Bruce Springsteen.
When did he jump the shark?
Like I just said, when he came stepping out with Ellen.
Really?
I mean, on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And making peace with Rosie. Like, she put the olive branch out to him and said, you have all these people harassing me. He used to say to people, if you see Rosie, call her a big fat pig and everything. And they would do it. They call her on the air and say, Howard Stern thinks you're a big fat pig, Captain Jenks. And she go,
I remember that, yeah.
Okay. Like, just humiliate her. But then, like, she calls up and they just made peace and everything, and now she's just this big part of his life. Her own kids, the kids that she adopted, they don't even bother with her anymore.
I was never a fan of Rosie O'Donnell.
No, I never was
Never.
either.
She was
Neither
an
was I.
awful Betty Rubble.
Yeah. When he
Awful.
showed up, though, on Ellen DeGeneres coming out and doing that.
Oh, that dance?
Yeah. And they kissed on the lips. I'm literally thinking, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to, like, cattle prod her right between the tits or something?
Nothing, huh? Now,
Nothing.
Other than Robin, hasn't everybody left him?
Well, Artie left for obvious reasons because he was a heroin
Junkie,
addict.
yeah.
The people he has in now. This Chris Wilding is one of the guys, most unfunny douchebag you'd ever want to hear in your life. He's a young kid from Canada. He's gay. He was on the air the other day talking about having his ass eaten.
Okay.
That's the new Howard Stern show for you.
Oh, well, this sounds like the old Howard Stern show in a way.
But the only problem is, like, this kid was telling it in detail about what it happened.
The original. So who's still there? Fred?
Just Fred.
Gary?
Baba Booey. Yeah, Baba Booey's still there.
And Robin.
Robin, and if you count Ronnie the limo driver. But none of them are in the studio anymore. It's all Zoomed.
It's all Zoom.
He hasn't been in the studio for a long time.
Why? Because he's still worried about COVID?
Yep. He's obsessed with that. He married this young girl, and rumor has it that's starting to take its toll. Like, the party's over in that whole regard. He still has Sal Governale and Richard Christie.
So when are they going to give him? When are they going to give him the Carson treatment?
I don't know.
And say, okay, you know what? You're done.
I mean, most real fans like Jeff and myself who listened, they don't listen anymore. I have it and I won't even listen to it. I tried and it's terrible. You know what his newest thing is? They'll be talking and go, "Hey, Robin, this and then you hear." Remember that old thing they used to do on AM radio, and then like a celebrity impersonator would start
yeah,
to-
yeah,
And they
yeah.
get this guy, I got to say, he does a spot on Dice Clay. I mean, Jeff, you would swear that's how good it is.
Okay.
But it's terrible. It's just like the comedy isn't there. Like you can have somebody that sounds like him, but if he's not funny, it's...
But he's not having like relevant people on, right? He's doing Andrew Dice Clay.
Well, well, to do the imitations, yeah.
Right.
But like his guests now are Kelly Clarkson and just all these fluffy guests. Like there's nobody good anymore. He's just
they don't do anything raunchy or anything
No.
anymore.
Does
No,
he
that's
even
over.
bring Beetlejuice back? For
No, Beetlejuice moved to Georgia. He lives down in Georgia now.
Shame.
Yeah, his family.
I
moved
have a
down there.
Beetlejuice statue on my desk.
Oh my God! One of the heads.
Yeah, well, no, it's like it's his face placed upon a Buddha statue. It's a golden
Oh
Beetlejuice.
my God! You got to take a picture of that. I'd love to see that.
I'll show it to you now.
I love Beetlejuice. He was the best.
You know who loved Beetlejuice also was the Sheik. I hate that little motherfucker, piece of shit.
He shit in the shower. He used to, this thing was he shit in the shower, Beetlejuice. And you go in there to be a big turd in the shower. And they'd say, "Did you do that?" He goes, "No, I'm on me, man. I'm on me."
So is there a new Howard Stern in the wings? Is there someone,
there's nobody comparable as far
because-
as changing the game.
Because all right, no one's ever going to change the game because everybody and their mother has a podcast now.
Yeah.
And I think he's just staying in it because he's not going to get a gig anywhere else.
No.
So, I mean, I don't want to shit on the guy because the guy was entertaining.
100%.
But it's just, like Johnny Carson. Time has come.
Yeah,
Time has passed
it's
you.
Passed. He should have done this a long
The
time
guy's
ago.
almost 70, right?
Yeah, he just turned 66, I think.
All right, so he's pushing 70. This isn't 1985 anymore.
And he's very political now. He's always anti-Trump and anti-this and anti-that.
And Trump used to be his best friend on these shows,
I
right?
look at old clips and they were buddies, so I don't understand,
Does he want to have political office somewhere down the line?
Yeah, he just wants to be respected by what he figures. Oh, let me see this pic. That is awesome.
See, it's not that big, but they have bigger ones.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Let me take a peek at this.
That
thing.
is awesome. That's Beetle.
Beetlejuice. For those of you who don't know, describe Beetlejuice as I look at this.
He's just the reason they call him Beetlejuice is because his head is small, like when Beetlejuice was in
Yeah, I
hell.
believe the name of the disease he has is methoteliitis.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Because that one of the most famous P.T. Barnum, the Pinheads or Schlitzie,
Yes, yeah.
they all had the same. It's methoteliitis.
Yeah.
But it was good enough to like the beetle statue, the golden
Yeah.
beetle and
That is-
everything.
Now,
I
where-
can
where
rub
did
for
you
good
get
luck
this?
I
Where did you-
found that at the Chilla.
You did?
Oh, my God.
That's fantastic.
I would have bought that at the Chill. I'm telling you.
Well, you should come with us in
I know,
October. You can
that's
buy a
thing.
Beetlejuice
That is
statue.
nice. I
Yeah,
like
that centers off my desk at the house.
That's a thing. A ting of beauty.
That's
as Mickey
a
would say.
ting of beauty over there, Rock.
But yeah, no, listen, all due respect for what he did. He paved the way, he groundbreaking and everything, but I just don't buy this whole thing now. And he shits on a lot of his fans that he had before who just would say, well, I'm gone. That's dead. I was crazy back then. In other words, if you liked me back then, you're crazy too.
It's like Darth Vader. That name no longer has any meaning for me.
Exactly.
I brought you to the dance, pal.
That's right.
I mean, the guy's got to be a billionaire.
He's one of the
close to
richest
it.
people. He's got to be one of the richest people.
And he
Although
doesn't-
Jimmy Buffett's richer than him.
And he doesn't do anything.
No?
He just sits in his Zoom.
He lives in Florida now. He doesn't even live in New York.
He doesn't even live
anymore.
on Long Island anymore. He lives in Florida.
Florida. The same neighborhood as Trump. Palm Beach.
Really?
Yep. And
Now, why would you move next to someone you hate?
that's Howard for you. Who knows?
And where does Robin do her shtick from?
I think she still lives in I think she's sick. I think Robin has some health issues.
Right.
Doesn't look good. When you look at the old Robin, she was hot.
And they started with this back in 81, 82?
Easily the 80s. I didn't get to him till he came on WBCN. I didn't know anything about it.
I like I said, I discovered him on Channel 9 out of Secaucus.
Channel 27 used to run the shows.
Yeah, I believe I discovered him around 1990, 1991 or
exactly.
2 and everything when I was just getting out of high school when
Yep.
he started to have his TV show.
Yeah.
I remember the one show where he had Michael Habranco on with Richard Simmons, the guy who lost like 800
Yeah.
pounds on the dealer meal, and they had dropped.
doing this, Howard?
And they kept dropping potato chips on fishing lines in front of him.
Roasted chickens.
Everything in front of him.
And he goes, look, they're not even tempted. He goes, Richard, they're very well trained. Michael LeBronco's just sitting there like, do we have to put up with this? This is very, very demeaning.
Who's that, Jeff? Is that Beetlejuice calling you?
Oh, no, it's my buddy Kevin and everything. Let me call you back. I'm doing my podcast.
Kevin.
What's happening, Kevin? I think it was Beetlejuice myself.
Oh, me?
Me? I could call you back. I could do that. I could do your half-hour show in 10 minutes.
Speaking of that, did you know they're doing the sequel to Beetlejuice?
Oh, really?
They're actually the one with Michael Keaton, not the guy from Howard Stern.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I heard through the grapevine that they're filming certain scenes around here.
Well, I think they were filming that actually in Connecticut.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that, but I think, well, that's where the movie was supposed to take place, in Connecticut, in the first one. And the only people back from the original are obviously Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and the woman,
Maureen O'Hara.
Maureen O'Hara there from SCTV.
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara.
yeah.
Maureen O'Hara.
I was going to say, she was in that movie.
The
with John
Quiet
Candy.
Man. The
Yeah.
Quiet Man.
Quiet Man.
Oh, yeah. I got my O'Hara's mixed up. Just like her organs. Did you ever hear that Catherine O'Hara, she has this rare, well, it's not really a health disease. It's more of a condition. But all of her organs are on the opposite side. Her liver.
Are you shitting me?
Her kidneys. It's all on the opposite side, but they're all very well functioned.
So
That's
it's
amazing.
like she lives like in a mirror?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Through the looking glass.
But it's an interesting fact about
And she's
her.
a very funny woman.
Yeah, very funny.
Not too many people. I think the two of the funniest women in comedy. Catherine O'Hara and what's the other one on SCTV? I can't think of her name now. A little short. Anyway, she's hilarious.
She's fantastic.
She really
I know
is.
who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can see her face.
Yeah, and she's
Home Alone and in all those movies.
yeah. She was always incredibly funny. But what the other one? Catherine. I can't think of her name, but she was really funny. You remember her name, Quincy?
Not offhand, no.
Is that anything like the Jamie Lee Curtis having a dong?
I think that's true.
You think it is?
Yeah. She got
Andrea
really upset.
Martin.
Andrea Martin, that's her. She's a very funny woman. Very, very funny. Those SCTV sketches, hilarious.
I enjoyed SCTV, the very few limited times that I got to see it, because that was on when I was very, very young.
Yeah, I loved it. I always said it was funnier than Saturday Night Live.
Well, Saturday Night Live has never been funny. Maybe there were like a couple bursts when it first started.
Sure. You got to give it something. But
Eddie Murphy,
Yeah, no question.
Chris Farley.
Hilarious.
But I believe I saw a skit on SCTV where Martin Short did an impersonation of the banjo boy from Deliverance. And he
must
did
have been
it to a T.
I bet he did.
And it was fantastic. The way he looked to the side and smiled and everything. But STV, I enjoy it very well because first I was introduced to the movie Strange Brew.
Yep.
And I'm like, where the hell did these characters come from? And then I saw STV. I saw some of Dan Aykroyd's first, where it's just good stuff. Good
It
stuff.
really was. It was just, Martin
A
Short,
lot of
though,
magic comes out of Canada.
that's for sure.
Canada. Canadian.
I always say Canadian sometimes. That's why I didn't even bat an eye.
Sounds like a disease. Sorry, Mr. Bittman, you have Canadia.
Again?
You got it from
That bitch.
You got it from Andrea Martin.
I wouldn't mind catching something from her. What was Martin Short did? He was Jerry Lewis to a T, and it was one like Jerry Lewis was throwing a fit. He was in like a little kid's sailor suit, eating a lollipop, and he was yelling at the camera crew. You had to see it to believe it.
But Martin Short's a very talented guy.
He really is.
Better than Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. I mean, what the fuck you doing? What would you do if we had him on the phone right now?
Hang up.
Hi, Quincy. It's Steve Martin. I hear you're upset with me.
Yeah, well, you had your chance. I was once a loyal fan of yours. I came by to visit you.
Well, look, I can't sign every autograph that people ask for. I just
Why
can't. Sign.
not? There wasn't very many people outside.
You were
It was like-
harassing me. I was in a hurry.
Well, listen, a loving fan once was, what he does is comes out, does some of your very best clips.
Well, you know what? All I have to say to you is, well, excuse me. Click. He hung up on me.
That's about it. There's your hang up.
It's about it. We got some shout outs we got to do here on the program. I mean, a lot of people out there listening, commenting and whatnot. And I put a little thing out there that says, if you want a shout out, retweet something. And they retweeted.
Awesome.
And right now I'm going to give out some shout outs to a lot of our faithful listening out there. First and foremost, Abby retweeted us.
Abby.
OMG Abby out there. So I guess that kind of counts, right?
Come home, Abby. We miss you.
Well, I heard through the grapevine that she's going to be doing a video project sometime in the next week for the fans.
You bastard, you.
Unbelievable. Jay, remember Jay, our number one
old
fan?
Jay. Jeez, what
good
the
old.
hell?
Jay's been out there doing a lot of fun things. So Jay, you know, he's now a lifetime member of the Restani production family.
Wow.
Remember he won the cardboard cutout of
That's
Abby,
right,
and he
that's
came
right.
down here, I think about a year ago, April, to spend a day with us.
Was that a year ago?
Over a year ago. It was in April.
Yeah.
And he came down here, and he's a huge fan of us. He gets all of our merchandise, and I know he's looking to get some Ricky Bittman magnets.
Well, I got to get in touch with him then. I'll get his address.
So, Jay, if you're
Jay,
listening
those are
out
coming
there,
out. Middle of the Night Podcast, Jay, at middleofthenightpodcast@gmail.com.
there you go.
Send me your address.
All right. Our good friend Mutant Theater.
Mutant Theater.
Mutant Theater out there retweeting us.
Say hi to Mutant Theater, Quincy.
Hello, Mutant Theater. How we doing tonight?
There you go. Mutant Theater, big fan, retweeting us all over the interwebs. A mutual friend, good friend from New Jersey, Mr. Doug Palumbo.
Captain America himself.
Mr. loves all the stuff that we do out
does.
there.
Big fan,
He's
big
going to be
fan.
coming. I heard for the grapevine, Doug. I just heard it that you want to make a big trip out here to
He
Boston.
wants to go to Mr. Dooley's,
Mr. Dooley's.
Irish pub in Boston.
Oh, we'll have to bring him there.
Doug likes a good Guinness. He's a smart man.
All right. Well, definitely. Doug Palumbo out there, our good friend from New Jersey.
Yep. He promotes us.
He does.
He was outside painting his house one day listening to us.
Really?
His neighbor said, "What are you listening to?" And he gave him the 411.
And he has the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Does he have any?
Oh, does he have the T-shirts?
No, I know he has our T-shirts, but does he have any of your magnets?
Oh, yeah, he's got a magnet. And actually, he won a trivia question once on the jukebox, and he won an Elvis Presley Pez set.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He posted that on Facebook. Yeah.
What flavor was the Pez?
Well, Coca-Cola. It
Oh.
came in a special tin. It was 3 versions of Elvis: early, Army, and Vegas Elvis. And it came with a CD, and there was a cola.
Wasn't
flavor.
banana and peanut butter?
I basically told Doug they were old, so don't eat it. So
Does Pez really have an
I
expiration
don't know,
date?
but I just
You don't want to. You want to
reeling in the
lawsuits.
fish. I felt guilty. I said, you know what? If Doug ate the Pez and he died, I mean, Jesus. I was like, I actually woke up in the middle of the night thinking about that. And I think sent him a message.
Don't eat the
saying,
Pez.
Yeah, I said, I don't know if I told you this is really old Pez. So it's from the 90s.
Oh, that is old Pez.
Yeah, it is. But I didn't want to open it because it's this nice case.
It's a collectible.
Exactly.
You can't open it up.
Mint in box.
Our good friend Joe, she loves us from England. You've talked to her.
Joe, yeah.
Over on the phone that time.
Hello, Joe. What do you know?
She's going to be spending the weekend down with our good friend Nathan down in Bristol, England.
Really?
You know,
weekend?
nothing like that. Joe, I know if you're listening out there, you're going to get all your tetanus shots because you are going to the young ones.
Ooh.
Let's just put it that way. All right. Bum Wine retweeted us.
Bum wine.
Bum Wine. Wouldn't that be known as Ripple?
Well, I was thinking of like the sweat after a run. I used to call it my bum wine.
Ugh. But I never really tried Ripple in my day. Always wanted to, but it's too late for that.
Well, that's Fred G. Sanford out
Such
there.
an honest reaction.
And of course,
And the G
was
is for girdle. You're a big dummy. I'm at my joke.
6'3", Louis.
6'3", Louis.
and a final person for a shout out there that was retweeting us, Jeffrey Forlong.
Jeffrey Furlong.
Jeffrey Forlong.
the Connecticut Furlongs?
If you're listening to this and you follow me on social media, you want to retweet stuff, we'll give you a big shout out each and every episode.
Everybody follow these people.
All right. So right now, let's go around and give everybody their social media right there.
Yeah.
All right. You are on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter at Bittman Ricky. And I'm on Facebook, Ricky Bittman, Bittman.
Quincy, you're on Twitter at?
Well, you know.
Okay, yeah, of course. I have to be the press agent here.
Milk.
At Milk and Cashews. At Milk and Cashews, if you want to talk to Quincy Briscoe. South Boston Jeff, you are not on Twitter, but you are on Instagram.
Right.
Wow, that's hip.
What is your IG handle?
I believe it is Stalker 101 or something like that. But well, let's check it.
Actually, if you look in the description of this podcast on YouTube,
Yeah.
I list all the social media platforms where you can find it. But you can find me on Twitter at After Hours TC. And if you want to follow our executive producer Abby, OMG Abby, you can follow her at After Hours Abby.
The things we have
awesome.
to do. Isn't it?
Totally awesome.
You know, if this was like 20 years ago, it's like, okay, you can send me an email.
An email. I
And
still use the email address.
You can send me an email, or you know what? Here's my phone number.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Yeah, back then you could actually talk to people.
Did you find it, Jeff?
It's Stalker 101. I was just looking at my Instagram, and it just gave me a bunch of pictures. But
Any hot chicks?
No, not unless you think of Barbara Hershey as a hot chick.
At one point in time.
Sure, she was.
Well, speaking of that, all right, who's your piece of the ass of the week right there, Ricky Bibb? A new segment here on the program. Just came up. Jeff gave me an idea.
Okay, I'm going to show you one. All right, I can't remember her name, but give me a minute.
Okay, I give 2 minutes to you and your gallant crew.
All right, I'm going to show you. This is a show Tosh Lent and I have been watching, and oh, come on. No, now I'm seeing all hot men. Where's the broads on this show? Because it's a show. Oh, here she is.
They have bum wine, right?
You might like her.
I don't know who it is.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I don't want to get too nasty, but all right. So the show is called Outer Banks.
Outer Banks.
And it's on Netflix. And it's I wouldn't say it's for young people. It is definitely geared to young people. But old farts like myself and Toshland, we can enjoy it too. But there's very fetching young women on there. This woman's name is Madeline Klein. Okay, now scroll to the right. Now she's getting credit for having a real body.
Madeline Klein.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Scroll to the right.
Yeah. Whatever way the pictures move, I guess.
Okay.
There's another one.
Okay.
I mean, that you asking who's the babe?
She's very attractive.
She's beautiful. Like that right now. That's somebody I noticed.
Madeline Klein.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, it's a good series.
I like her in that wife beater top that she has there with the jeans there.
But she's like a natural beauty,
She's all natural.
Yeah. She's not like 96 pounds,
No. She's not.
But there's something about her.
Very, very fantastic, Jeff. You're a piece of the ass of the week.
What's the question?
Piece of ass.
Just who do you find attractive this week? I mean,
what do you think, Quincy?
Always Scarlett Johansson. I have a crush on hers lately. I forget what. She's always got a movie coming out, either in the theater or and everything. But I'm constantly.
The reason I'm bringing this up because a lot of the sites that I'm on Twitter, I get in some sort of algorithm and whatnot. And it's always famous women, famous celebrities, and whatnot. Of course, you click on it, and then it asks you who do you find desirable this week?
Yeah.
And so
who's yours?
Oh, Emmy Rossum from Shameless.
You're still on her?
Oh, I would love to be on her.
I thought you said for the week.
Okay. Well, this is a very long week.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Listen, I think she's beautiful too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, my feed is full of pictures of Scarlett Johansson and this other redhead named Christina Hendricks.
She's related to Jimmy?
No, not at all. I just said she's a pale white redhead.
Well, it could be adopted.
Scarlett Johansson is smoking.
And she's just better and better. Her acting is getting, and she's great knockers, fantastic, just the complete package. Yeah. She's just hot.
All right, I'm curious to know what the milkman over here, Quincy. Who do you think is an attractive woman that you're a fan of?
Karen Valentine.
Want to have some fun with Sex in the City?
Whoa!
Really? from 20 years ago or now?
Well, you said so.
I was sure you were going to say Pinky Tuscadero or something.
Okay, that too.
Okay,
but the Sex in the City, that kind of just threw me for a loop here.
Trust me, I used to adore Kristen Davis on there.
Who do you like on that show?
Yeah, who's your favorite on Sex in the City there, Quince?
Jessica Parker.
Really? Oh, really? Huh?
That's interesting.
You like women?
We've met Matthew Broderick quite a few times.
You like women that look like feet?
Oh. She was cute back in the day.
Personally, my favorite on that show was Kim Cattrall because I grew up Police Academy and all that good stuff. Porky's, she played Lassie in Porky's.
And she's actually coming back on the show. Remember she held out for the cash?
Yeah, I guess she's going to make a very brief cameo.
They have that because her and What's-Her-Face have heat. Mega heat.
It's her and Jessica.
And let's be honest. I mean, she was the star of that show.
Yeah, she is better.
She was more entertaining, and obviously she's better looking than Sarah Jessica Parker, but and she's the more talented. She was, Police Academy. Mannequin.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just having a little fun.
Well, it's your prerogative, Quincy.
Yeah.
Anybody you can pick.
But Sarah Jessica Parker is the only one I've met out of those 4 group of girls.
That's her very young right there.
Let's see. Was that for her from Square
Square
Pegs?
Pegs.
Yeah, great show.
And she used to play Annie, too, on Broadway.
She was actually in a Broadway show with Andy Kaufman.
Really?
Yes. Wasn't Annie, but it was some Broadway play that she was in with Andy Kaufman.
That's the one you like, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, had to have some fun.
Yeah, she was an it girl at one time.
Yeah, she really was.
Who's that?
Sarah Jessica, right?
Oh.
There used to be a great picture of her in roller skates.
I enjoyed her in that movie, Flight of the Intruder or Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I enjoyed in the movie Mars Attacks because when the Martians caught her, they ripped her head off and placed her head onto her chihuahua and placed the chihuahua's head onto her body. And, well, it looked pretty cool visually.
And the thing that I said where she looks like a foot, that came up from the
Family Guy
episode.
Look at that picture.
Actually, she looks like a young Farrah Fawcett there in a way.
very, very pretty there.
But I mean,
Look at the other people in that picture.
Oh, wow. So I'm looking at a picture here that Ricky Bittman just found on the internet. Sarah Jessica Parker with an extremely high Robert Downey Jr.,
Is the mountains.
Bill Paxton,
Yeah, rest in peace.
Anthony Michael Hall, and I don't know whose nose that is. Anthony Michael Hall's not dead.
No.
Bill Paxton.
is,
Yeah, Bill Paxton. Shame.
Yeah.
Good actor. Good guy.
Good actor.
Good
Chet
guy.
from Weird Science. Great role.
Wasn't she tagging Robert Downey Jr. at this point in time?
Yeah.
And Anthony Michael Hall has that stupid little shoestring tie and whatnot.
Little bolo
You
time.
just wanted to punch him in the head there. They all look completely stoned
Yeah.
in this picture.
Imagine the stories they got.
They're not going to remember half of them.
I know. Well, that means
Especially
they were good.
Downey. Now, Robert Downey Jr., I'll give him credit. He turned his life around.
He did.
I mean, and he,
that dinosaur.
without the help of Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
With the help of Mel Gibson. I'll never forget that. Neither will he. Well, that is a cool picture. Like Anthony Michael Hall looking geeky as always.
Look at Robert Downey. What do you think, Jeff? He's got,
Looks like he's having fun.
he ain't having fun until you got to dial 911.
I always think of that movie. What is it? No,
Less Than Zero.
Yeah, Less Than Zero.
With,
I read the book.
I never read the book.
Bret Easton Ellis wrote the book, and it was a very good book.
That was what were the other Brat Packers that were in that movie? Jamie Gertz,
Jamie Gertz, Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy. Jamie Gertz is like a gazillionaire.
James Spader was in it.
He plays the same character in every movie in the 80s, other than Mannequin, where he played that wormy looking dude,
that's right.
where his hair was all slicked back and whatnot.
Let me see. I don't know how I found that.
Who,
picture.
Anthony Michael Hall?
No.
No. Andrew McCarthy. Andrew McCarthy.
No,
right?
no. We just James Spader.
James Spader.
Yeah, lost footage of when I met him.
He goes, who do you
Yeah,
think?
I complimented him on the movie Secretary, which he played a it was a dominatrix movie, and he gave me a weird look, and he's like, "Well, thank you, I guess," but yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Grimace is back.
The Grimace is back?
Yeah.
Where? Where'd you hear about the Grimace?
I didn't know he left.
Oh, Google it. He's all over social
Well, I know
media.
he has a new shake now.
Yeah,
It's a
but-
purple shake.
Yeah, but the Grimace is back.
And what's the purple shape? Probably going to taste like a grape flavored treat.
I was always a fan of Grimace.
Yeah, I had no problem with him.
Grimace was
No
big
flies on him.
He's big on TikTok, apparently.
Grimace.
But of course, some people are already protesting that he's scary looking. And that's the truth.
How about the character named
He's
Big Mac?
improved. He is less scary looking than when he first started
Yeah.
because he was straight up evil looking when
Yeah.
he first started.
Well, he was a villain, I guess,
He had
the
red
first. He used to steal the shakes.
Red eyes, but so did Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Well, there was
True.
Captain Crook. There was the Hamburglar. Then there was Ron McDonald. And then there was
The fact that you remember Captain
Man,
Crook
Mc-
just blew my mind.
Mayor McCheese.
I forgot about him.
I forgot Captain Crook too.
He used to
There
do
was
the Filet-O-Fish
Mayor
thing.
Mayor
McCheese. What
And
was
then
that? What was that? Do you know what the police chief's name was?
Big Mac.
That's
the Big
correct.
Mac. Hold it, I'll put it on arrest.
There were the Fry guys, and then later
guy
on
that
we
bought
came
all
to
of
the
those McDonald's
early
and-
buzz. Well, when I know because when I was a little kid, I had a train set, and you had to collect a McDonald's proof of purchase to get this McDonald Land train set.
Isn't that
But it
great?
had all the it had all of them.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap this show up, but you know what? We should sing the McDonald's song.
Which
Two all
one?
beef patties.
Oh, okay. That's the Big Mac song.
The Big
Before
Mac.
we do,
Oh.
before we do, have a safe and happy 4th of July.
Yes, light fuse and get away.
Let the fuse get away. Thank you for watching. We hope we'll see you on another episode.
And what about the beaches?
And the beaches. Those bitches rubbing up into this again. So,
And here we go. A 1 and a 2. Two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
You deserve a break today, so get up and get. Is that before your time?
I think that's before my time. That one is.
You know who wrote that?
No.
Barry Manilow.
Oh, did he?
100%. Barry Manilow wrote that for McDonald's before he was
That's
famous.
better than Wesley Willis's song. Rock and roll McDonald's! Rock and roll McDonald's! Rock over London!
And
Rock over Chicago!
remember the most important thing. We never close.